So if you've got one of these bad boys, or you're thinking about getting one, and yes, I know it's camouflaged, but you can still see it, but you're not quite sure how to use it, then stick around, I'm going to show you how. So, quickly before we get into it, what does foam rolling actually do and how does it work? So foam rolling has scientifically been proven to do three things. It will help reduce muscle soreness, will help increase flexibility slightly, and then also help reduce sore spots. Exactly what you need after a workout. There's lots of debate on how foam rolling actually works, but there's three ways in which it might be working. Number one, just helps reduce any waste products by flushing them out of the muscle. Number two, it helps actually split apart muscle fibers that are stuck together. And number three, it just creates tension at the muscle by rolling on them, that then it actually switches the signal from the brain to the muscle off, loosening the fibers a little bit. But how do we go about achieving those things? Well, let's have a little foam roll. So they say that 3 is the magic number, so I've come up with 3 top tips to help you foam roll a little better. Will help you get all those results that we talked about, so reduce sore spots, enhanced recovery, and less soreness after exercise. Number 1 is to always roll towards the heart. Your blood vessels have little valves in. If we roll away from the heart, it just means we're pushing the blood through those valves the way in which they're not meant to go. So always roll towards the heart. For example, if I was going to roll out my calf because it's a little bit sore, I would always roll from my foot up towards the heart, up towards the knee, okay? So I'd always lift myself up and just slowly make my way across my calf, always going up towards the heart. That brings me on to number 2. So they also always say, slow and steady wins the race, and that's definitely the case with foam rolling. So I don't know how many times you've maybe been in the gym or seen people you sort of foam rolling like this, a little bit quicker, and that's great for warming up the muscle before exercise, but if you're wanting to reduce soreness, then we need to work a little bit slower. So the rule of thumb is move an inch every 3 seconds. So it's pretty slow. If we're doing my calf again from bottom to the top, I'm gonna go nice and slowly, 1 inch about every 3 seconds, and we're just trying to find any sore spots. So it might take me about between 30 seconds and 60 seconds to get all the way up my calf, but if I find any sore spots, I'm going to stick on those for about 30 seconds and really kind of work into them, and once the pain subsides a little bit, then we can move on up the calf to the next sort of section. But really slow and steady, we're trying to find those sore spots and ease them off a little bit. So my final and third tip about foam rolling is to make it manageable. So you don't want it to be excruciating. It will be a little bit sore, especially if you have some of those sore spots, but you want to make it easy enough so that you can tolerate it. So for example, a nice easy way to do that is instead of just doing one calf and having one on top of the other, for example, is just doing both calves at the same time. Just puts pressure on both legs instead of just one, and then we can move an inch every 3 seconds up towards the heart again, nice and slowly. But if you are really sore, this is a great way just to start off. Once you progress, your calves get a little bit looser or whatever muscle you're rolling, then we can change over, make it a little bit more intense, try different angles and hit them a little bit differently. But make it manageable, make sure you want to keep doing it and improving as opposed to never wanting to do it because it's so painful. So I'm going to make another video in future with a whole sort of foam rolling routine and with lots of different exercises, but I'm going to show you 3 exercises now that are really popular to help ease off any tight areas within the lower body. Feel free to go over each muscle group 2 or 3 times, and if you're really sore, maybe you try that twice a day as well. The first area we're going to hit is the calves, because I've already kind of gone through them over there, but they can get quite tight if you're a runner, for example, or wear like high heels for a lot of the time. I don't have that issue, but you might do. So all we're going to do is, again, we're going to start at the bottom, work our way up towards the heart. Easier version, we can go with both legs on the foam roller, and we're just going to push our bodies off the floor a little bit. Just working our way up the calves, nice and slowly, again, about an inch every 3 seconds. If you find that a little bit easy, once you kind of get up to the back, well, just before the knees, never go over the joint. Just before the knees, make sure you don't never go over the joints. We're gonna start again, but we're gonna go onto one leg this time. So really slowly, working the way up, and feel free to roll the calf in and out as well. So the calf's made up of a couple of different sections, and we've also got other muscle groups underneath the calf or around it. So if we roll sort of inwards and outwards, we can really try and find any sore spots we might have. The second exercise we're going to do is for the IT band, which is not necessarily a muscle, but it's a band of fascia that runs from the hip just to below the knee. It can get quite sore if you're running a lot, for example, or you just have weak glutes when walking. So it's a common issue among runners, but other people often get it as well. So all we're going to do for this one again is work from just above the knee up to the hip. We're going to lay on it our sides, start just above the knee, and then all I'm going to do is slowly work my way down this way. Feel free to support yourself with your feet. This can get quite tough, so support yourself on your elbow and your hand. Again, number 3, make it manageable, and we're just rolling all the way up, again an inch every 3 seconds, all the way up to the hip. Final exercise we're going to go through today. Again, I'm going to cover loads more exercises in other videos, so let me know down in the comments what areas you want foam rolling exercises for. But we're going to cover the quads, so a muscle that covers the front of the leg, helps extend the knee. This can get quite tight if we're sitting down for long periods of the day as well. So again, we're going to work from here all the way up to the hip. And this one can be interesting as we can do it on 2 legs, similar to the calf. Obviously the IT band one we just did, you have to be on one side. But this one we can go on both legs, or if you feel it's manageable, you can just try it on one leg to increase the pressure on one leg. So all we're going to do is put the roller underneath or just above our knee. Again, never roll over joints, and support ourselves with our hands. You can support yourselves with the legs. Again, we can go 2 legs or 1. Trying to find any sore spots. Again, we can rock side to side, trying to find anywhere, and if we see anywhere that's a little bit tight or find anywhere that's tight, we can just work on that for 30 or so seconds, trying to alleviate the sore spot, and then we can move on. Thanks for watching. I hope you now know how to use your foam roller a little bit better in future. If you've got any questions or want to see any specific exercises, please also let me know down in the comments. Other than that, subscribe for new videos every week, and I will see you in the next one.